Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And it's that time again. It's time for more journalists to get laid off.
There you go, again.
We're going to talk about Vox Media laying off 4% of staff in the second round of cuts this year. Of course, there's another flowery exit speech by the unionized writers. Who
Were you just saying the other day you thought there was going to be more layoffs of Vox? Like in one of the videos? You literally just said that a few days ago.
I did. And we're going to talk about that. And then we're going to talk about Sports Illustrated publishing AI-generated stories. So if you have a publication like Sports Illustrated getting busted for publishing AI-generated stories, you know, the end is near, right? Because that's like one of the last publications I would have thought. And we're talking ChatGPT has only been around for a year. 1 year. Just celebrated its 1 year anniversary.
That's it? I thought it was longer than that.
No. I was shocked because there's been so much upheaval and so much discussion about ChatGPT taking journo jobs, and literally everybody is jumping on the AI bandwagon. And we're finding out that a lot of these writers can easily be replaced with AI.
Well, wait till the swimsuit models start getting replaced, which is also easy to do.
I guess you could, because they would have perfect bodies, you know? You can just put in some prompts and yeah. Anyway, let's talk about this, because this is the new normal, guys. There will not be nearly as many journalists going forward. The money is running out and the jobs are easily replicated by AI. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Guys, you get a woohoo if you do.
Woohoo!
We are real people, believe it or not.
We are.
We look like we're cartoon presenting.
Cartoon presenting.
But we are real people. For now. We'll see. We'll see. So yeah, Vox Media lays off 4% of staff in second round of cuts this year, according to The Wrap. The company union objected, of course they did, noting that journalists covering climate change, policy, and tech are among those affected.
You mean, stuff that people don't really want to read?
The stuff that people don't want to read, yeah. Because really, they're going to get more mileage out of just like clickbait headlines and top 10 lists. And
people want to read that stuff. They're not going to Vox.
Yeah. They said that Vox let employees know Thursday it was laying off 4% of staff. The layoffs are primarily in its product, design, technology, and analytics team, as well as the Dodo.
Oh, now that makes me sad.
The Dodo, that's a bummer.
I like the Dodo because I always look at their stuff on Facebook and I watch the animals get saved, and then I sit and cry, and then I'm like happy, and then I just sit there and blubber. True story.
She does. True story.
Sure, he's like, no sad dog video.
I do. I literally tell her, I hear the music, and I'm like, oh, is that Sarah McLachlan? I'm like, shut that shit off.
No sad dog videos.
No sad dog videos. This reflects continued turmoil in advertising and the need to build even more loyal audience relationships, given the increasing volatility of search and social platforms, among other factors, a Vox spokesperson said. So let me break this down for you, because we've done multiple videos talking about this. Being website owners ourselves, unfortunately, we had to make the difficult decision earlier in the year to lay some of our writers off.
Ad rates are just terrible.
They are the worst. They have been in the entire time I've been doing this. We're talking like 15 years now. Like, ad rates are god awful. They're terrible. But not only that, it's not just the advertising. The problem is getting eyeballs to your website if you're dependent on advertising, because social media does not work like it used to.
No.
Facebook now, if you want to leave Facebook, they want to basically quarantine you to their platform. So Twitter obviously doesn't work as well as it used to, because Elon Musk bought it and he changed that whole thing.
Well, Facebook, when we say that, if you want people to leave Facebook to go to your site, they do everything they can to stop you from leaving Facebook to go to your site.
They put warnings up. They're like, hey, you're going to leave Facebook. You sure you want to leave Facebook? Oh, we got lots of other stuff here.
It could be a questionable site. You sure?
Yeah, you sure you want to go there?
And then Facebook has the audacity to ask you to spend more money in advertising. For what reason, Facebook?
Yeah, it's a huge rip. But it used to be that these sites, basically, they had a parasitic relationship. They would post their articles on Facebook, and then they would pay to boost those articles, and it does not work like it used to work. So you get your money back. You spend the money on advertising, you get back in advertising. Because now, even if you get somebody to your site, so many people have ad blockers installed. So that's cutting into it too. And then advertisers, because they know it's a waste, they're not spending the money on websites now. They're spending it on video. So it's like this whole thing. But then search too. Google, especially with AI, talking about AI, they're actually reworking Google so you can look for news, and Google will give you a snippet at the top that's AI generated that encapsulates all the information you're looking for, so you don't have to read through somebody's freaking 29 paragraph PS5 review that's actually about Trump. So just on every level, these websites are getting decimated. And it's no shock that people are getting laid off.
It was interesting. They're talking about the problem. They said it reflects the turmoil in advertising and the need to build even more loyal audience. Okay, they said that. But then I was just going to mention this. Senior Vox reporter Sarah Morrison was among those laid off, noting via X that she was looking for work, including outside of journalism, because this industry is brutal. Yes, it is brutal.
Yeah.
100%. It is.
I will give her props for being willing to look for work outside of journalism. And you're talking to a guy who has a background in journalism.
Yeah, people keep forgetting that. Like,
Yeah,
you
they
were
keep
an
forgetting
editor
that.
for a couple publications before, and everybody seems to forget that.
And I started out working at newspapers, and I made the transition to working in web development and working in digital media. And I did that out of necessity because I saw the writing on the wall. Like, there is no future for newspapers. Like, this is just, it's not going to
You
last.
still are in journalism. You just took a different way.
Yeah.
And here we are in videos.
Here we are doing it. But it's all
cartoon presenting.
and all. But I will give her props because there's so many people now that are either journalists or like comic book people. When the writing is on the wall and it's time to nope out, they refuse. They're like, I need to get a job in my vertical. I don't want to work doing this. I don't want to retrain. It's like, look, things move fast and there's no shame in retraining for another career or finding something else or working a temporary job until you can find something better. It's better than going online and begging for money.
Well, a lot of people do journalism, but they do it like piecework, and they can still do something else, and they do it for extra money. So you don't have to quit, whole cloth. But yeah, I do give the Sarah credit too, because they're willing to do what they have to do, and it is a very difficult industry. I'm not going to lie to you and tell you it isn't, because it is.
Wow. So the union's raising money for people who lost their jobs when they should have had. So this is why are all these writers, all these websites all of a sudden in the last 2 years unionizing? They're unionizing so they get a parachute when they invariably get fired. That's the truth. And look, I'd do it too. I'd be like, hey, I know I'm going to lose my job in 6 months. I better sign some papers to make sure I have something when I get gone, because I've been laid off without a parachute before, and it sucks.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It was like, my God, I was management, and you're just like,
we don't owe you anything.
We don't owe you anything. It's like, holy shit.
One bad thing about working in PA. Anyway.
Yeah, right. But yeah, so here's what the union actually said. This is coming from Twitter, which I thought a lot of them were going to rage quit. X.
Yeah, they were going to quit.
This morning, the Vox Media Union learned that the company intended to lay off several of our colleagues, a number of whom were members of our union. This news is especially devastating in the midst of the holiday season. Yeah, right before Christmas, too. Are you kidding me? And honestly, that's kind of shit. And we are
you got laid off right before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, like the week before.
And that's when they said, we don't owe you severance.
Yeah, we don't owe you severance. So good luck with that turkey. Maybe you can
no, that was the other place. That place did give you severance. Never mind.
Did I get a ham from that place? I think I got a ham.
I don't know. Doesn't matter.
Anyway, we're furious that management has short-sightedly opted to eliminate these essential roles. They're not essential. This is the thing. All journalism, this kind of journalism, digital journalism, you are non-essential. If you work in marketing, you're non-essential. I have learned this the hard way. When the chips are down, the people that get gone first are the white-collar, digital, journalist, PR, social media manager, all that shit. Because at the end of the day, you need somebody to make your widgets in the factory and make it go. But you can hold off on the marketing. You can hold off on the press.
You're not supposed to be replaced with AI. Yeah,
right. Well, we're going to talk about that because that's what I think is actually going on. This is the second major round of layoffs at Vox. Won't be the last. And some of our most vital reporters and video production team members who are voices on key issues, including climate change, policy, and tech, have lost their jobs. So that means nobody's reading that stuff like you said. Our colleagues produce crucial journalism that should not be subject to the whims of executives or advertisers. Then
Wait. Why would it not be?
Wait.
Okay, that is the most ballsy line here.
We are essential. We do not have to make money.
We produce crucial journalism about, dogs. And, well, it is crucial journalism to me. And that, we should not be subject to money. And, because that's what it's about. Executives or advertisers, they don't have the money to pay you. The advertising rates are down. They don't have the money and you don't bring the views.
Well, then what you do is you go back to Vox and you go fuck yourself. This is not about the money, right?
Right, exactly.
Or you could try something, I know it's really wild. You could try to be your own journalist. You could try starting your own Substack.
That's hard.
Or your own YouTube or your own website. You could try doing it yourselves, but it's so much easier. Because when the internet first started, we all had to build our own shit, right? And it was hard. You had to build and promote your own shit. But these people, they graduate from
you had to learn how to do all the stuff involving the internet. Like, it was all new to everyone.
Right. Like if you were a webcomic creator back in the 2000s, you didn't just draw. You had to learn how to build, code your own website, promote your own website, run your own website, run your memberships, make your own merch. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a lot of steps. The people that build up the sites that these assholes are not, they're not all assholes. I'm sure some of them are very nice, but I'm just going to say there are a lot of entitled people that got a job right out of college and they think this is what it is. Like, well, I went to school for digital journalism. I'm owed a job. It is essential. It's like, no, sunshine, it's not essential.
Well, we have to move this along faster, but it said we're grateful that union contract gave them severance for their colleagues who lost their jobs. We stand in solidarity with the thousands of workers in the media industry who lost their position in 2023. There were a lot. And they said we and the audiences who trust our journalism deserve a stable, more equitable media landscape.
There won't be
There's
one.
no money to pay you because it's not, you don't bring the fucking views. It's not that hard. Layoffs like these only deepen the instability and equity and in the industry. They don't, if there's no advertising money and you're advertising money funded, where do you think the money comes from? I love the comments. They're basically, is the business demand for paid shills down?
Everybody's turning against them. They're like, good.
Have you considered non-biased and truthful reporting? The rest of you should go on strike. That'll show them.
That's what they do. That's what they're banking on. Like all these people stupidly think if they unionize that they're going to get to keep their jobs. Like, no, you might get a little bit of severance, but they will find a way to get rid of you if you're no longer bringing it. Yeah, it doesn't matter if you're unionized or not. It
right.
Really,
I mean, they aren't making money. The ones who aren't bringing it are going to go.
I do appreciate his avatar. I will let people figure out what that means, and some of you out there probably do.
They can start their own media company if they're as good as they say.
You could.
Exactly. Vibes are greater than solvency. These people's comments are just beautiful. They're getting it from everyone because nothing of value is lost except for the dodo.
Yeah,
the dodo has value. And they bring a lot of awareness to animals. So to those of you with the dodo, I am very, very sorry because I do just watch and read your stuff sometimes. And I bet the same still sadly applies. It's if there's no money coming in.
The irony.
They gotta do what they gotta do,
The irony of calling that publication the dodo.
I know, with the bird that went extinct, yes.
Yes. They're all dodos.
They're trying to stop other animals from going extinct.
So just quickly here, and I talked about this the other day in a video talking about OpenAI and artwork and all that. Sports Illustrated, right? Biggest sports publication out there, right? They were publishing AI generated articles, and they actually were creating AI generated authors too. They had this author called Drew Ortiz, right? But they found his biopic on a website that was selling AI generated portraits. And
yes.
Yeah. And it turned out that like all the articles were being AI generated. There's no social media footprint for this person.
Oh, that sounds like something else.
And right. And we just did another video talking about that. And I think we're going to see more and more of this. We're going to see these like fake journos pop up. But the reality is that if the end product isn't any different and the consumer doesn't know, and it's all just clickbait shit anyway, and it's not bringing advertising, it doesn't matter to them. Because the people who are actually good at their jobs, the journos who are good at their jobs, they will go start a Substack, they will go start a podcast, they will go start a YouTube channel, they will do something and they'll be fine. The problem is most of you, there's nothing to distinguish you from an AI generated article. You don't have a unique voice. I know you all think you're special and that you're essential, but the reality is you're not. And I'm sorry. And I think if you can find a job in another industry, there is absolutely no shame in that. Doesn't mean you failed. The only failure is if you deliberately let yourself be destroyed and become destitute because you refuse to change with the times.
And I mean, look, if you want to, on the side, keep building your own thing and make sure everybody knows it's not AI generated, so that's authentic voices, you know, there might be an audience for that soon because people are not going to be wanting to read AI stuff all the time. I can tell you that for sure.
Put a little GMO,
something so you know it's verified.
Sticker on it.
You verified a real person.
Yeah.
And, you know, you might actually, if you are good, you might actually be able to bring the audiences. You might be able to find work other places. I think outlets need to not be hiring AI all the time because what's going to happen is it's going to bite you in the ass. But that's another story. I mean, this is another reason why ad rates are down.
Yes. Well, yeah. I mean, it's just a lot of, look, I mean, you want to talk about irony real quick. A lot of the traffic, what's killing off some of the advertising on these websites is that advertisers have become wise. A lot of the traffic on these websites, it was fake.
Yes, I was just going to mention that. Yes, exactly.
So we had bots. So if
Full
bots,
circle. I was going to mention the exact same thing.
so if bots are reading bot-generated articles, why should advertisers pay for that? And they found this out. And this is what happened with BuzzFeed and some of these other outlets. Is the jig was up. They realized they're getting hosed because they were buying traffic to boost the numbers.
If you have journalists too that want to, they get bonuses for higher amounts of views. They're out there. Some of them are out there buying traffic to boost their thing and being like, oh, at 10 o'clock the traffic's going to go through the roof on this article.
I'm not going to go into too many details, but we had one very acrimonious parting of the ways with one of our writers a couple of years ago, because we found out that this person was apparently, according to our hosts, was buying traffic.
Well, I thought so for a while. I was watching.
I was going by what the logs that they were giving me, and
I questioned it for a while.
This person was one of the few people who wrote for us that actually got view bonuses, and we actually ended the view bonuses because of it. But I do think there are a lot of writers working for these blogs out there, knowing the pay structure, that they're incentivized to cheat to get these. But the thing is,
and now I question everything they say.
Yeah, it cheats. Now when you go sell advertising and your advertisers are like, hey, I didn't get any return on that, whatever.
Websites could lose their entire advertising network and things over this.
Yes, I'm not going to go into too many details, but let's just say we almost lost everything because of this one person.
It is ironic that they want to switch to AI for that, but these websites were also the ones that caused some of the adpocalypses in the past because of the fake traffic.
Yep.
But anyway, we're going to have to wrap this up.
Yeah, let's wrap this up, guys. I'm sure we'll be talking a lot more about journos and AI in the future.
And we don't want anybody to lose their jobs. Don't get me wrong.
No.
But it's going to keep happening because the whole landscape has been shifting. We've been telling you this for years.
At least
that it
5
was coming.
years.
We've been saying it's coming this entire time.
What the hell do we know? What do we know?
Apparently.
Put some money in the jar. Put some money in the clownfish jar. We're going to wrap it up.
Yep.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We'll talk later.
Bye.